perfect storm. And so, stay tuned on that. On other news, got to give a big shout out to the 18th anniversary of the 40/40 Club with Jay-Z and Beyonce. And I like the way that they navigated with the controversy of the Tiffany diamond. You know what? No one was saying anything when Lady Gaga was wearing it, when Aubrey Hepburn is wearing it, but now that Beyonce is wearing it, people have to say something. My thoughts on the matter is that making you any money? Right? Is that helping the cause? Let these people do what they do, power moves, and the benefit, the way I look at it, and some people may disagree, and that's fine. I don't care. But Jay-Z and Beyonce are donating almost $2.6 million in cooperation with Tiffany. They using their influence to bring something to the table for our historically Black colleges. So Lady Gaga didn't do that. Aubrey Hepburn didn't do that. So, but Jay and Beyonce advocated for that. In addition to that, one of the things I love about that picture that they did was they advocated the beauty of artists. Jean-Paul Basquiat, who was a famous graffiti artist and then turned into, a artist of the likes of Andy Warhol, they promoted that painting, which was the similar color as Tiffany. So, and he's no longer with us due to a heroin overdose. So there's a lot of, we can't get caught up in the superficial things in life. And that's why I love, my partner in crime. He's been doing some major power moves. He'll have some announcements when he does come back. I'm telling you, he's doing his thing. But Mr. Kevin Carr, and that's the reason why he really advocates towards, what's called the 9 medallions, to stands for champions. The C in champions is confidence. And our guest today exudes confidence. But before we go into, what our guest does, that's the point that I wanted to make in regards to Jay-Z, Beyonce, Basquiat, folks like that. If you need to believe in your craft, and no matter what people say, that's an opinion. Opinions don't mean anything if it's not substantiated with any type of facts or any type of improvement of a situation. So one of the tips that I want to share with folks that are listening or watching on Facebook or watching on YouTube is, don't get caught up in people's opinions. Focus on your journey, focus on your life, and be confident and believe in yourself in order for you to flourish, right? Because if you don't believe in yourself, who else is going to believe in you? Right? Who else? Really think about that. So on that note, I'm going to share with you this unbelievable woman. I'm talking about, she got a story to tell. Miss D, the job coach, is a career coach and business consultant. Also an entrepreneur who delved into pretty much the male-dominated trucking industry. So I can't wait to hear a little bit more about that. But she enjoys working with people and businesses in transition. Since 2015, Margaret has been coaching and developing people and businesses in the Tampa Bay area. She's also the co-founder of an annual event, the Empowerment Summit. Yes, the Empowerment Summit of Tampa Bay. Through networking and connecting with like-minded people, she focuses on showcasing regular people with amazing impact in their community and offers them an opportunity to tell their story on the stage. A perfect example of exuding their confidence. People who attend this event have a unique opportunity to be inspired and begin building their network. Her theme is hashtag change the world. This is her initiative and her proudest accomplishment to date. And she continues to identify people who believe in something that can change the world. She has established a non-government organization, an NGO in Johannesburg, South Africa. She has leveraged her social media outreach to connect with people in persons in 4 African countries, and her radio and social media presence has gained her recognition as far away as the Netherlands and Africa. So let's welcome to the show the job coach, hashtag change the world. Check out that t-shirt. Coach D, Miss D in the place to be, the job coach. What it do, what it do, what it do.
And listen, people read my bio or intro or whatever, and I say, forget about all of that. I'm just Margaret, Miss D, the job coach. I'm just a regular person. And I just want to encourage people who are just like me, regular people, to hashtag change the world. And you change the world in your own way. You know, you're talking about Jay-Z and Beyonce. They've changed the world, and they have changed the world, and people think it's because they're celebrities. But it was a burning desire within them to be able to do something. You know, like you said, Lady Gaga has a platform. What did she do for education?
Cricket.
Okay. Right.
She got her dog. She got her dog stolen. She got her dog stolen. It was on the news.
So when you have a desire, though, to do things to help other people, regardless of what their background is, if you have a desire to help, then you might try, right? You want to hashtag change the world. And it doesn't mean you have to be somebody famous. I'm not famous. I'm just a regular person, and I want to gather more regular people. My tribe is growing to 300. Our goal is 300 like-minded individuals around the world who have a spirit of intention with love and compassion to help humanity hashtag change the world.
All right. I love it. So, you know, Power Moves is all about sharing how you generate revenue, how you make money, and so we're gonna focus on the money aspect right now. So,
okay.
You know, you were working a corporate job. You know, tell us your story. Like, how'd you go from corporate to in 2015 becoming the job coach, and then, you know, doing these amazing things, and how, what have you learned from that experience?
So that's a great question. What I've learned is no matter where you are in your life, you can always turn your head and do something else. You know, I moved from the Carolinas, where I had a great corporate career. I ended my corporate career with a major telecom carrier there back in 2009. And I took a few years to just kind of figure out what I wanted to do next. I relocated to the Tampa Bay area and looked around and said, what am I going to do now? And I've always had the entrepreneurial spirit. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've had my own business off and on since I was in my 20s, and in different industries. And what I am really good at is teaching people how to do things, empowering them, if you will. And I took my human resources background, which is what I did in corporate America, hired, trained, and developed people. I took that skill and developed the brand. The people that I was working with a very interesting group of people. I worked for a nonprofit organization that did reentry work. And what that means is we were helping people coming out of long and short-term incarceration situations find employment. That was what my job was. And I went from there to developing my brand, Miss D, which is what my clients called me. My last name is Diva-Lot. They were like, "The what?" They just shortened it. They just shortened it to Miss D. And so I became Miss D, the job coach, coaching people through the steps of gaining employment, but also because I have an entrepreneurial spirit. Some people, they're too long in the tooth, or they're not the right fit for getting a job. And I recommend that they become entrepreneurs. I mean, I think some people naturally have that. So I would help them get their business started, showing them what they can do, how they could take their transferable skills and develop them into a business. And Miss B, the job coach, was born. And that was 2015. And as with many entrepreneurs, I went through the joy of learning.
Mm-hmm.
There's the ups, right? The ups and the downs and the ins and the outs, and contracts that work out and contracts that just don't.
Right.
And sometimes you have to look in your toolkit, if you will, and say, what am I going to do with my business now? You know, it's on a track that may be stuck. And I'm very transparent about the fact that I got stuck and I did not know what to do next. But my agility, again, my ability to turn my head, coach myself, and ask the question, what is something that I've always wanted to do? And with the help of a friend in 2000, in the middle of COVID, I turned my head and said, I want to learn more about the transportation industry, specifically trucking. So I got my CDL and I'm in my second year driving a truck now.
So talk to me about how did you gain the confidence to have a glorified corporate job, making really good money, being comfortable, and then all of a sudden you're like, you know what, I'm just going to do this on my own? Because it takes a major leap of faith. And there's so many people, like our listeners, there's so many people that hate their jobs, or they have a supervisor they just can't stand, and it's not pleasurable for them anymore, or they're looking to, you know, take a leap of income. What did it take for you? Like, how did you do that? Like I said, and get that confidence. Can you share with people, is there a process? Is there steps that you took for you to say, you know what, I got confidence in me to make it happen? And then share with us a little bit about the results of the revenue that you made. Did you make the same amount of money when you were working at corporate, or did you, you know, incrementally get there? Or tell us the real deal.
Okay, so the real deal is this. I left my corporate job in 2009 because of a lot of personal things. I was going through a pretty tumultuous divorce, and the company I was with, they were ready for a downsize or a right size or a get the hell out, whatever you want to call it, right? Mm-hmm. And so I just said, now is the time. And I drew the line in the sand. I took my savings, my 401k money, and money that I had saved. I did some research in the marketplace and said, what does the market need? And that's really kind of how I made my decision. I looked at the skills that I had and I said, who needs these skills? And that's who I marketed them to. So in the beginning, it was not easy. Entrepreneurship is not easy. It's not easy. I'm gonna say that again. It's not easy. And it does take confidence to get up every day and believe that you're going to be able to do it, because what is the choice?
Okay, hold on. I like that. What is the choice? So we got 10 seconds left. Once again, this is Power Moves. We got to pay some bills, where the celebrities, athletes, key influential executives share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect. We'll be back in less than 2 and 2. We got to pay our bills on In Touch News, reality radio, where everyone is a star. See you in a few.
Hey, this is Agent Wright, better known as Mr. Clean. You looking for some great barbecue? Come see them two brothers in the grill, located at 423 Virginia Street, Charleston, West Virginia. We got ribs, chicken, pulled pork, brisket, collard greens, mac and cheese, baby. Come get some and get you a nice, smooth cigar. 304-550-4431. That is 304-550-4431. Come get some, baby. The Rib Man, mama, the Rib Man.
Jacobs Production, in partnership with Trinity City of Praise and the African American Family Institute, presents a musical play, 10 Boys and One Girl, coming soon to the David A. Strauss Jr. Center for the Performing Arts, 1010 North Mercedes Place, Tampa, Florida, September the 18th, 2021. 2 p.m. matinee show, 7:30 p.m. late show, $25 general seating, VIP seating $50. You don't want to miss this powerful performance, a story of a man and woman raising 10 boys, one girl, through trial and obstacles. obstacles. With resilience, faith, and love, they made it. Directed by Nate Jacobs of the West Coast Black Theater Troupe. Musical director Davon Jameson of Jacksonville, Florida. Tickets can be found at the Strat Center box office. For more information, call 813-229-7827. 10 boys, 1 girl, family strong.
All right. We are back. This is Power Moves, where celebrities, athletes, key influential executives share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect. We are with Miss D, the job coach, here talking about the importance of confidence in yourself. How do you build it up, especially when you're taking the leap of going into entrepreneurship? Because you know what? It's not easy, right? It's not easy. So you said you coached yourself, you built the confidence. Like, where did your confidence come from, though?
Well, there comes a point where you just say, I know what I know. And I think a lot of my confidence came from being encouraged along the way by different people, even from when I was a little kid. My dad was very encouraging. I always tell people that my dad would always brush my knees off and stand me back up and let me keep going, and people around me that recognize different things in me. And I say people prayed for me when I couldn't pray for myself, Entrepreneurship, I say it all the time, it's not easy and it's not a straight line. Miss D, the job coach, wasn't my first business. I had a marketing business, a grassroots marketing company when I lived in the Carolinas called Moving You Forward. And what I learned from that was, if you don't name your business right, people won't understand who you are. People used to call me and think I was a moving company.
I was just saying myself, that's what I was thinking. Are you a moving company?
Yeah, that's what everybody, I was like, okay, this was wrong, right? And so what you learn is that you better go become a student. And that's a lot of where my confidence came from, was listening to other people, getting mentors, whether they were virtual mentors, because I didn't actually know them. And I was just, listening to the things that they taught. I always give credit to the great Les Brown. I give credit to people like, well, I guess I don't give him credit if I can't think of his name right now. Anyway, I listened to, and I read a lot of other people's stories. And once I kind of learned that most really, really successful people failed a whole bunch, whether they were athletes or they were creatives or they were straight business people. Most of them failed a whole lot before they became successful. So I began to expect the failure. And in having the expectation that some things weren't going to go good, I could take the stuff that went well and take it forward with me. And I think that's kind of what built my confidence, was making a bunch of mistakes and then understanding what worked and what didn't work.
I love what you just said. That's a key point. That's like a Miss D, the job coach tweetable. Expect the failure. Because if you expect the failure, then you become more confident. And I was just going to ask you too, besides in addition to the encouragement that you got from your dad and from people and your mentors, how did you assess your skills, or how important is it to every so often, whether you're at a job or even as an entrepreneur, to assess your skills? And when you assess your skills, how does that also help confidence, or does it?
Oh, it absolutely does. I tell people, well, I had a great supervisor in corporate America. And one of the things that Kathy Bunk, I will never forget her. Some of my teammates, because we worked in teams at this company, and then we had the supervisor, and we were individual contributors to a team effort. So each person excelled kind of in their own way. And Kathy, she made sure that we didn't get in trouble for silly things that she could measure, like, don't end up on this report. She kind of kept behind us there, right? And as an entrepreneur, if you don't take care of the little things, they will eventually eat away at your integrity, at your marketing. You know, the little things is what really get at you. And Kathy really taught me, watch out for the little things and manage those, but also celebrate what you do well. When she would meet with me on a quarterly basis and we would go over sort of my quarterly review, she would say, what I want you to do first is tell me what went well. And in the beginning, it was hard for me. I was like, because I'm so critical. I'm ultra conscientious. I'm a type A personality. People tell me I don't see it. but that part of me that's always looking for opportunities for improvement sometimes took away from my ability to know what did go well. And so that's the biggest thing that she taught me, was celebrate what you're successful at. Find the thing. I don't care how microscopic it seems to you. If it went well and gave a good impression to someone or kept you out of trouble, then you need to keep doing that. You know, Gary Vaynerchuk talks about that. Accentuate what is good about you, and then maybe you can improve some of the stuff that's not going well, and maybe you can't. Maybe you just need to hire somebody to do that part of your business, right? So keep doing the things that you do well. And because she taught me to celebrate my successes, I'm now more celebratory of myself, and I teach my clients the same thing. I'm gonna give you a great example. I met a client at a networking event, and the cornerstone of my business and everything that I do is networking. And we can talk about that if you want. But I met this woman at a networking. She had just relocated to Florida from Puerto Rico. So English was not her first language, but she had an amazing resume. And she was an HR director. And she kept saying to me, I'm really worried about my English. And I just looked her in the face and said, is your English going to get better in the next 30 days? She said, no. I said, great, we're not going to worry about that. We're going to look for employers that recognize that there is a benefit to you being multilingual. I said, so as we're looking at companies, let's make sure we look at companies that have an international presence, and maybe I said, your English is fine to me, but that was an area she wasn't confident.
Right.
So I said, let's go look at people who are going to celebrate the fact that you know many languages. And so when you know what your strengths are, you go look for people that are going to celebrate your strengths. And that will build your confidence. When people see you and know that you are going to be able to do what they need done, they're going to pay you. And that's what it's all about.
I love that. I need to pause you on that, because that's a very good point. I need for you to reiterate that, because it's simple chemistry or simple science, right? Where it's, if I exude X, then I need to focus my attention on who's looking for X, as opposed to, you know, I have X and you know what, you might be looking at Y, then don't waste my time. So I think that's a very valuable point that people need to understand. And it doesn't matter, right, whether it's for a job or even for, you know, a contract, right? Because as an entrepreneur, what we're seeking is contracts, right? As a mentor taught me a long time ago, turn contacts into contracts. So, you know, could you reiterate the importance of just making sure that you know your strengths and you focus on attracting what people are looking for and how to go about doing it? And that's why, once again, it builds your confidence.
So there's a tool that I use. It's an entrepreneurial assessment. I was actually at a meeting. So this is a great story. I was at a meeting at a networking event, right? I was not a presenter. I was in the audience. And when we went around the room and introduced ourselves, I told a little bit about who I am and what I do. Well, there was a gentleman in the room who I did not know, but he saw this tool, this entrepreneurial assessment tool that he had access to. He saw how that could help my business, right? So by me telling people who I am and what my skills are, my niche is working with challenging people, whether who are in transition, whether they're transitioning their career or they're transitioning their business. And he said this tool would be excellent for them to do what you just asked me, measure what their skills are, measure their strengths.
Mm-hmm.
So once they know what their strengths are, that's what you're going to sell to people, because everything you're doing is selling. Listen, people tell me I'm not a salesman. Yeah, you are. Because if you're not selling something, nobody's buying anything and you're not making any money, sunshine.
Right.
So once you use this assessment tool, right? So the story is that the guy heard me speak, saw how he could help me, and he actually sponsored it. The thing cost several $1,000s to get certified in, and he actually sponsored it for me. He was a philanthropist. I didn't know who he was. And that's why you got to be able to tell people who you are, what you do, and how you bring value to the marketplace. Who you are, what you do, and how you bring value to the marketplace. Because people will see that and they'll say, I got something. I know somebody. I know something, right? And then as you develop the relationship, you then can take the contact, turn it into a contract. That got increased my ability to make money, because now I can go in and do that assessment for an entire organization, which I've done several times, right? Because people are looking for something tangible. Much of what I do with my clients, they have worksheets and things like that, but I'm not giving them, say, a piece of paper or, it's soft skills mostly.
Or certificate of completion or something along those lines, right?
Right. But now that they have this entrepreneurial assessment, they're walking away with a report that they can have forever that shows them what skills they bring to the marketplace, something hardcore, tangible. And he took me to a whole different level with my business. And that was just because I was able to introduce myself somewhere.
So, I mean, I think that's a great point. We have about 60 seconds left. And I love, there's a lot of dynamics that you just introduced, is the fact that you did those 3 questions. And I want you to repeat that real quickly. But and then the fact that it increased your revenues by having a tool that someone can have tangible. So now you had one offering, but now you had a second offering that you can offer, which ended up providing more money to your business. So that's huge. Well, once again, my producers are on me. We got another commercial break. Got to pay some bills. But you know what? We're going to come back with those 3 questions into our power segment. So once again, this is Power Moves, where celebrities, athletes, key influential executives here in Tampa Bay and all across the world share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect. See you after the break. In Touch Radio, reality radio, where everyone is a star.
So believe we hunted down 813-248-6300. Everything gon' be okay. Carr Ricky, he coming. He taking kids state of Florida. Grab a pen of sundown. 184-361 Rick. That's 184-361-7425. Never word from the point forward. Just recline. Just ask Ricky. Plus your boy statewide. Just in case you missed it, I'ma tell you one more time. 184-361 Rick. Call Ricky. Ask Ricky. Legal medical referral service. The doctors and lawyers in our network are trained in handling auto injury claims and getting you the best medical treatment and recovery. Dial 1-844-361-RICK. That's 1-844-361-7425. Ricky. Ask Ricky.
In Touch Radio.
This is Joel Sylvain
And Kevin Carr.
and we're with Power Moves, where celebrities, athletes, key influential executives
influencers,
share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect. Come join us every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Power Moves.
On In Touch Radio.
All right, we back. I'm going to segue from the money to the power. This is Power Move, where celebrities, athletes, key influential executives share how they make money, how they attract power, how they earn respect. We are with Ms. D, the job coach, the trucker, dropping gems on us right now. I mean, woo! So, just a quick recap. In the last segment, we talked about money and how she made sure that she can always answer these 3 questions, no matter if you're applying for a job or, as an entrepreneur. You need to be, that's kind of like your elevator pitch. That is what you bring to the table. What are those 3 questions? And take them down, people.
So, who are you? What do you do? And how do you add value to the marketplace?
How do you add value to the marketplace? And by you answering those questions effectively and succinctly, someone in the crowd was piqued and they sponsored you because you did a great job of marketing yourself and having the confidence to say who you were and what you brought to the table, that it allowed you to now double your revenue because you had 2 revenue streams. That's awesome. So,
right. So
and
the,
that's a
the
power
entrepreneurial
move.
mindset.
Oh, go ahead.
The entrepreneurial mindset profile that I offer my clients gives them an opportunity to know better who they are, what they do well, and how they add value. So it's a takeaway for them. In addition to the soft skills that I teach them, it gives them tangible ideas on the areas that they want to project more about who they are, develop and even get better in. Because I tell someone, if you're really good at something, master that. Take that and let that be the pinnacle of what it is people remember about you. And as people remember that one thing, listen, if you can impact them and they remember one thing about you, then you stay on their mind. And I'll be perfectly honest with you. People say, Miss D, the job coach, what is that? So that's how I know that my brand works, because what do I want to do? I want to talk to them. I want to be able to present my services. I want to be able to have a conversation and qualify them for the services that I offer. I just don't want to throw up everything that I do. I want to be able to qualify them. And if we're having a conversation, I can ask them questions and let them tell me what they're looking for, so I can be very direct in sharing how what I do can enhance the journey that they're on.
So I would say to you, what's interesting about that, right? So I'm gonna reverse engineering. How important is it to qualify people to enable to be able to share the power or the talent that you have to provide value?
It is extremely important, because Gary Vaynerchuk told me, he's one of my mentors. He doesn't know. We'll keep it between us.
All right.
But Gary said, you need people that want what you do and can afford to pay for it. Want it and can afford to pay for it. Because just because somebody wants what you do or they need it, see, a lot of times we want to do a needs assessment. Oh, you need my service. No, I want them to want me, my service, and be able to afford it. Because if they can't afford it, I can present all day and all night and they'll never write a check.
Right.
So it's important to qualify that they are your target market. An unemployed person really is not my target market. An unemployed person is really not my target market. My target market is somebody who's transitioning their career. So sometimes people are downsized from a corporate position and they get an exit package.
Right.
And as part of their exit package, they get a job coach, a career coach, someone like myself who can bring their interviewing skills, their resume, and things like that up to current time. Because if you've been in that job for any length of time, you may not have a current resume. You may not even know what jobs are available in the marketplace. Many people are downsized, right size, left size, put out on the curb, and they get a nice severance package, but they really have no clue how they're going to get back in the marketplace. You got a severance package because you're in transition. That's my target market. Or someone who's in their job and they hate it. Every day they're trying to figure out how they're not going to go in their boss's office and lose their mind, right? So that person, they're turning their head right now. They're looking around and they're still employed. And it's a great time for me to do that assessment with them and for them to go through the process of deciding what's next in their career. So that's where that transitioning person sort of comes in. Also, college students, new graduates. I do a lot of workshops with people who are going to college, people who are in college, and people who are getting ready to graduate from college. Now, I do a lot of those workshops pro bono because they are potentially clients later, but I know that if I bring the value and they know after going out and trying to do it on their own that they've got to invest in someone to help them, they'll remember me for it. So there's a lot of different ways that you can go about building your business. There are a lot of different ways that you go through the experiential learning, if you will, by finding things that work and things that don't. And what works for one business, I don't believe there's a one size fits all. I'm going to say something kind of mean here, so hold your ears. There's a lot of marketing in the marketplace that's poo-poo, caca, na, right? Some of it, you have to learn it. You go hire somebody and they tell you take steps 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you take those steps and it doesn't work out. It's possible that they didn't qualify you. So that was your question. How important is it to qualify you? Sometimes people say, I just need somebody, and they have no idea who the somebody is. Well, I'll waste my time, energy, and money, and they won't have a good review for my business if I didn't properly qualify them.
Right. It's so important because that's how you accentuate your strengths, right? So because you are qualifying them before you do business with them to make sure that you can, adequately service them the right way. I love that. With that being said, you have another business, and what did it take for you to do that crossover, or are you doing both? And how much energy and power does it take to do both?
So I actually have more than 2 things that I'm doing right now. 3.
Please share. I mean, that's what it's all about. I mean,
okay. So I'm going to kind of go down the list. So there's Miss B, the job coach, the HR consultant, and career coach, right? And with COVID actually made that better in some regards because people were really turning their head and trying to figure out what they're going to do next. So people really engaged there. And because people now are not afraid of Zoom and they understand using virtual tools, I'm able to do a lot more on the internet. And because I live on the road, in case you didn't notice, I'm in a truck. Most people don't know this is actually my bedroom. So I got my CDL license, and I now drive an 18-wheeler truck. That was something that was on my bucket list, but I'm doing it as a way to do research. So I am a company driver. I don't own a truck currently, but I'm learning the business so that I can open my own trucking company probably by the middle of 2022. And
how important is it to develop your power by doing the research and getting into the nitty-gritty so that you can truly grow the way you want to?
So I'm a different kind of entrepreneur in the sense that I believe that you should go work in the industry before you open the business. Many people jump out there and because they have however they have it, they just start a business. They have no idea really how it's going to work because they've never worked in a business that was similar. So I had an HR background and it made sense for me to be a career coach because I'm just telling people what the person on the other side of the desk wants to know, really.
Mm-hmm.
And now in the trucking company, I work for a trucking company. So I'm learning the job, I'm learning the business, I'm learning the nuances from people who are in the industry, and I'm learning it firsthand. I'm not learning it from a book. I'm not learning it from theory. I'm not watching, well, I do watch videos because people are very giving in this industry in terms of giving information. There's lots of stuff on YouTube, but until you're in the industry, you don't know what's good and what's not, So sitting in the seat, the most important position in trucking is the driver. Many people don't know that. The most important position is the driver because if nobody drives it, nobody's getting paid. So I'm learning what my drivers are going to want when I open my company so that I don't have, because of my HR background, I know turnover costs you money.
Right.
So I don't want high turnover. I want high employee satisfaction so that as an employer, my stream of income, my cash flow remains positive because I don't have downtime because I lose employees. So I think it's extremely important to learn a business from some vantage point, whether you learn it from being a frontline person, which is what I like. I like the nitty gritty of things and I like that part of it. But then you can also learn it from being, say, a reseller of a product, or you can learn it from being a manager in that business if that's what you want to do. So I say find an area of that industry, of that business, and go work for somebody. Get paid to learn. Many of us have degrees that we're still paying for. I say go experientially learn and get paid to do it. Now,
that's a power move right there. That's what I'm talking about. Getting in. So what's interesting is the next question I want to ask you, because we only got like about a minute left, is with you being in this industry, where do you see you'll have your competitive advantage? Where do you see your power going to come from now?
My power is really going to come from understanding that I can't do it by myself. So I'm building a team. I'm building a network of other people that have way more experience than me. And so I'm just going to be the person, because I'm the visionary and I have that business mindset, take the skills that I have, bring it together with the amazing skills that they have, and in a spirit of love and respect for what other people know that I don't, we'll be able to build something amazing.
All right. Well, love and respect. And you know what? That's going to be our next segment, is the respect segment coming up. But once again, we got to pay some more bills on Power Moves, where celebrities, athletes, key influential executives share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect. And once again, this is In Touch News Radio, reality radio where everyone is a star. See you after the break.
Don't miss the first annual Amateur Grillers Cook-Off coming to the Tampa Bay area on Labor Day weekend, September the 5th. Hosted by the Dr. K.C. Patel High School, located at 10721 Rollison Ranch Road, right here in Tampa, from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. There will be a $500 cash prize to the best amateur griller. If you feel that you've got the skills, then you need to bring your grill. It doesn't matter how big or how small. You can drive it up, push it up, pull it up, or even let grandma and grandpa help you set it up. Just bring the entire Tire your family out and enjoy some of the finest amateur grill meats. Sample the sauce and find out who has the best sauce. Bring your meat and put it on a plate, and let's see if you have what it takes. For vendors information, text 813-965-4456.
Listen to In Touch Radio anywhere, on your phone,
I'm listening right now, man.
in your car,
I'll keep that going.
on your computer. It's a new world, baby, and we are global. In Touch Radio.
By now, we're all aware of the dangers of COVID-19. Like others with existing health issues, cancer patients are at a high risk due to their compromised condition. If you are newly diagnosed with cancer, your care likely can't wait. Moffitt Cancer Center is the best place for your cancer concerns and to provide guidance to help you plan your next steps. We're here for you. Call 1-888-456-2839 or go to moffitt.org/here for you.
All right, we back. This is Power Moves, where celebrities, athletes, key influential executives share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect. We have our distinguished guest here, Miss D, the job coach, the serial entrepreneur with several businesses. And we going into the aspect she talked about when, as she grows her trucking business, she's going to bring in that love and that respect. And this is the respect segment. So as you are in this male-dominated industry, you know, could you share with us what it's like to gain respect in this industry, or for any industry for that matter, as a woman?
Well, you know, I'm not a girly girl, never have been. I wear lipstick because my grandmother said that I have to. So I do. But I really think that in any industry, think back to a time that you worked a job and a new person came in and the first thing they said was, at my old company, we did blah, blah, blah. And that's a way to instantly become, you know, ostracized in the workplace, is to carry around your old bag from your old job. You take your old self back over there, right? So, that's what they, I mean, they might not say it to your face, but that's what they're thinking. I wish you'd go back over there with them people, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I know what I know. And let's go back to your theme today, which is confidence. And I'm confident about what I know, but I'm also confident that there's some stuff I don't know. And so I ask for help. When you drive an 18-wheeler truck with a 53-foot trailer on the back of it, they ask you to back it up at times. And I'm not good at backing. I almost didn't make it out of trucking school because I couldn't back the trailer. Now,
Are you getting better?
Most people have. Yeah. Yeah, it used to take, okay, so I'm getting better because it used to take me about 30 to 40 minutes to back the trailer up to a dock for them to load stuff in it. Like I'd pull up to the dock and I'd say, if you guys got something to do, go do that. This is going to be a while. I've gotten it down to 20 minutes now. Most docks, if I can get up to them in 15, 20 minutes. And sometimes faster. So I've cut my time in half in less than 2 years. And people told me right about 2 years, you get super comfortable and confident with your backing. Some days I'm really good. Some days not so much.
Well, that's where the confidence comes in at, right?
I'm building it. But here's the thing. The thing is to say, I can do this, but I can't do this. When you know that you can't do this, just do this really, really well. When I'm in a situation where I know that I can't do it, I ask someone. Now, being a female, some people will be nasty and say, well, other people can do it. I had a guy say that to me the other day. Okay, well, you're not my tribe. You obviously don't want to help me, and that's fine. I'll either go find someone else or I'll just keep pulling up. That's what you do. You pull forward. I'll just keep pulling up until I get it. Or I'll pull out and I'll go around the block and I'll try it again. I just keep going. I go to a lot of the same places. In trucking, you generally go to some of the same places over and over. And some places I go to, they go, oh, here she comes. But I get out and I smile because that I can do. And that's free. I don't charge people for the smiling, you know, and I just try to be polite. And I know that some people will help me and some people won't. And I think that's what we've got to do no matter where we are. Recognize what our strengths are and what we're confident in. And a lot of places I go, they're happy to see a smiling face because in this male-dominated society, this male-dominated industry, they don't see a lot of smiling faces. You know, I wear cowboy boots, and it's summertime now. I like cowboy boots.
Country girl.
Overalls too. Great time. I've worn a suit a lot of my career, so now I can wear t-shirts and caps and cowboy boots and overalls, and I'm having a great time. And I'm doing something I've always wanted to do. I honestly drive a truck because when I was a kid, I used to be in the back of the car trying to get the guy to blow the horn. And when I was just kind of frustrated in my business and some other things in my life, a friend of mine said, what's something you've always wanted to do? So I went to CDL school and got the license. And now I drive a truck. I drive all 48 states. There's only 48 continental states. I've been to 44 of them. And I just, you know, and I tell people, sometimes you just got to throw caution to the wind and try something. And if it doesn't work out, guess what? I've got an amazing resume and I have my business to fall back on. You know, if my trucking company doesn't take off, I drove a truck, you know, I got a CDL and there's a lot of folks that wish they could or wish they would get the confidence to go try. And it wasn't easy. Oh man, this thing is not easy. And this job is challenging for anybody, not just being a woman. You know, woman has its little nuances, but I think sometimes it's easier for me sometimes because people will help me. You know, if you're a guy, guys are going, why you can't do it? You know, all the other guys do it, you know, so I don't know. I have an optimistic attitude all the time. And if I get up tomorrow, I get to try again. That's what I think.
You know, what's interesting, as you travel to 44 states, do you feel like you're constantly camping?
Oh yeah, it's one big camping trip. It absolutely is. Yeah. You got to go find a bathroom and you got to figure out what you're going to eat and how you're going to eat. And, you know, I actually sleep in a sleeping bag, even though I have a bed. I sleep in a sleeping bag because it just, I don't know, makes me feel better. I wrap myself up and I'm comfortable, you know, but yeah, it's like one big camping trip.
Have you ever had a time where, you know, you almost had to curse somebody out because they were disrespectful to you or whatever case may be? Could you share with us what it's like?
Okay, so I'll tell this story, but I'm 5'2.5". I weigh 145 pounds. I'm so not, you know. Yeah, I got a bat, you know, that I thump my tires with. It's not a weapon. So I was parked at a rest area next to another truck, and the truck that was next to me, he was pulled too far forward in the spot. So then when I went to get out, I wasn't going to clear him trying to get out. And I drive really early. Trucking starts early. I drive from 4 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's my work day pretty much. And so it was really early and he was asleep. I had to knock on his door and ask him to move his truck. Well, let's just say he wasn't so happy that I woke him up. I couldn't get out. I didn't have a choice. You
Right.
know, I wasn't going to just not get out, you know? And so he got up and he screamed at me and he cursed at me and whatever. And I just sat in my truck, you know? When you get finished doing all of that, sweetheart, just move your truck.
Just move your truck.
Because argue, what am I going to argue with him for? You know, he was angry because I woke him up. I get it. I don't want anybody to wake me up either.
Right.
But you did a bonehead thing, you know, and you had no consideration for your fellow trucker. So, you know, you get the bonehead award today, dude, and you get to move your truck.
just move your truck. So tell us a little bit more about how folks can participate in the Empowerment Summit, your other businesses. As we are wrapping up, we have 3 minutes left. So this is your time to just, you know, showcase and commercialize who you are, Miss D. Okay,
so I'm going to give you real quick. The best way to get in touch with me is to find me on social media, and it's M as in Margaret, S as in Sam, D as in David, Job Coach. So Google MSD Job Coach or at MSD Job Coach on any social media, because I'm on all of them. The phone number to reach me is 218 get D as in David job. 218 get D job. You can email me at missdthejobcoach@gmail.com. Okay, that's how to get in contact with me. Let's talk about the Empowerment Summit. Back in 2018, I do a lot of Facebook Live. I have a daily Facebook Live show called Margaret in the Morning, and I live 2 miles from the beach. So I'd walk the beach in the morning and let people walk the beach with me. That was a thing that I did back in 2018 when my show first started. And one of my followers decided to ask me if she could come walk the beach with me. And I said, sure, come to Florida. I said, hey, why don't we do this? Why don't we do an event? Let's do a conference, you know? And so I have these big ideas, right? And people think I'm just talking, and I'm not. I'm really going to do it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So the Empowerment Summit was born because my friend Cree Perryman and I said that we wanted to do a conference. And the Empowerment Summit is a 3-fold event. It's a day long. It's the first Saturday of August, and it's in Tampa Bay. That's the first city we're having it in. We've had it 3 years, Tampa Bay, and it's 3 things. It's networking. So you come and cross-pollinate with all my networks. They're speakers. They're all amateurs that have an amazing story. And then the last thing we do is we raise money for a local charity, because we believe that together we can #change the world.
#change the world. Drop the mic. Booyah. We got 20 seconds left. Thank you very much, Miss D, the job coach, the trucking entrepreneur, the Change the World catalyst, and the Miss Empowerment Summit. I love it. I love it. I love it. Another great episode and a great story exemplifying the importance of building your confidence through assessing your skills, getting an assessment, get in contact with Miss D, the job coach. Great episode of Power Moves where celebrities, athletes, key influential executives share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect, only here on In Touch News Radio. Reality radio where everyone is a star. See you next week. Peace.
Excuse me, but do this station keep you in touch?
A lot.
How do you like the music?
A lot.
Do they play your favorite songs?
A lot.
And in just 2 words, how do you like the station?
A lot.
There you have it, folks. The